All right, guys. As you know, this man has a very special place in our heart here at Submission Radio. There's a lot of things you can teach in this game of MMA, but there's one thing you can't. You can't teach ticker, baby. The number 5 ranked lightweight in the world is in the house today, live from New Zealand, the one and only Dan the Hangman Hooker. Welcome to Submission Radio, brother.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. Yeah, I saw that top 5 back in the mix. I love it when a ship plan comes together.
Well, dude, I'll tell you, man, when this thing was coming together, right? You weren't on Perth, you didn't have Gamrot. I feel like you kind of got all the chips and put them on the table, and you said, "Let's roll the dice," and it paid off. How does it feel, man? Now that you're on the other side of this thing?
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm over it. Yeah, just get this face healed up and then get back in the gym, I think.
Why are you over it, man? Why aren't you? Is it just like too much celebration? What was it? When did you realize, all right, that's enough of that?
Um, nah, I don't know. I got home this morning. It's just good to be home. Hang out with my daughter today. Probably, maybe I'm not decided. I'm not decided what we're going to do. Maybe we'll go to the movies. We'll get some dinner, and then I'll be back in the gym tomorrow morning. A rolling stone carries no moss, brother.
Well, so you'll be back in the gym tomorrow, man.
Oh, we'll go show my face. I'm not sure I can. I'm not going to be sparring or anything like that. I'm not. I'm not looking that sharp, but yeah, like you gotta get back in the gym. You gotta keep this moving. Where the story is far from finished.
Dude, I just want to talk about that Gamrot fight for a sec because you looked remarkable, man. We were there live. You're wrestling. You wanted to show them the wrestling, and you certainly did. I mean, it just basically looked like there was no way to take you down. Gamrot could have cut one leg off, and you still would have found a way to stay up. But there was a moment in between the rounds, right, where your corner's sort of chatting to you, and the corner man is working on you, and you kind of just start going, I love this, man. I love this. I love this. Take me into like what was happening in the corner in your mind in that moment that made you just want to start, kind of saying that out loud.
Um, no, like that's where most guys fold. Like that stage of the fight is where most guys freeze and most guys break. Yeah, like I'd lost the like I wasn't keeping track of the fight anymore. I wasn't worried about the result of the fight. I wasn't worried about who was gonna win or who was gonna lose or stressing out about like the scorecards or anything like that at that point. Like most guys like would think that it's a close fight and they're exhausted or they're down on the scorecards and they're exhausted and they need a big round 3 and it puts like a lot of pressure on it. But in that moment I just kind of yeah, like I appreciated being in that moment. It's fun, bro. 15,000 people screaming at you. You're exhausted. The other guy's exhausted. You're both bleeding. You're cut. You could have been more tired. Like that moment right there, I absolutely love. Like, yeah, the outcome of the fight had completely gone, and that's why I come out and yeah, just had fun in round 3 and performed the way I did is because I'm in my happy place.
Yeah, man. Do you remember the last time you felt like is that how you feel every time you're in the fight, or is this has it been a while since you felt this way?
Oh, it's been a while, brother. It's been a while. I felt that. I felt that. I felt that same feeling in the Turner fight. Yeah, like it's not even that it happens in every fight. It only happens in tough fights. Like it happens a lot more regularly now because you're fighting like the best guys in the world, and obviously they have the skill set and like work ethic and stuff like that to push you to that point. But yeah, it doesn't happen every fight, but you just know that there's only so many times you can kind of pass through that void.
Mm. What did you think of the Gamrot that came to Perth? Because I guess he was talking about he had a surprise for you. He was a little bit more aggressive than usual. What did you make of, I suppose, his game plan and the Gamrot, this version of Gamrot that you got? He looked a little bit deadlier than usual.
Oh, it's just yeah, he controls distance really well. Like he's very good at keeping his distance. So I kind of had to I had to take some more risks. I had to push. Like I said, I was gonna make it. This is gonna be the most exciting fight of Cameron's career, and it's because he's in there with a guy like willing to push the fight. And obviously, like a lot of guys don't push the fight because the result is that you wind up with some damage pushing fights. But yeah, I didn't think like the only thing on like in terms of like scoring would have been the damage, but it's like you can't really penalize a guy for pushing the action and then having just a decade's worth of scar tissue. Like, I feel like that's that'll be unfair.
Hey, man, at least you didn't get that referee that Tai Tuivasa and Rosenstruck had, right? Did you see that scorecard? There was some crazy stuff going on there. I think they had to ask the guy to leave or something. It was so bad, one of those judges. It was just like out of
I
control
didn't-
bad.
Oh, I didn't see. No, I didn't see. I haven't watched.
I
I
think he
haven't
had
watched
Ty
much.
winning. It was like something crazy. Like, obviously, Ty's a warrior and an awesome dude, but yeah, it was a rough one. I think they were like, get the hell out of Perth, get on a plane. We don't want you in this venue anymore. Like, it was that bad.
Well. Nah, I haven't watched. I haven't watched any of the fights. So I might have to. I only got back today. Just touched down back in New Zealand today. This morning, missed our first scheduled interview because I was asleep, and then
Hey,
woke
brother,
up. I
I
woke
get
up and
it.
said, "Brother, can we get another one in today?" But yeah, well, I haven't ever had a chance to watch the fights yet, so I'll go back and watch all the boys' fights. I haven't watched Guy's fight or Izzy's fight or anything, or even my own fight. So it'll be cool. Oh no, we watched it once at the hotel. But yeah, I'd like to just sit down and kind of get a feel for the whole card.
Yeah, man. You wanted some beers after the fight. I caught up with you briefly. Me and Casper did after the fight. You looked like you got your hands on a couple of beers, but were you able to get as many beers as you were hoping for in the venue before you got transported out to the hospital?
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot. No, I did not. I did not actually. It was I only got one coming out of the venue because I'd forgotten. I grabbed a hold of my daughter and then was walking with her. And then when I got out back, just all the UFC staff had just said like, "No, Dan, we will get so fired if we give you beers right now." And then I'm like standing out back, um, and then I can hear Kai's walkout music. And then I was like, I started storming towards the venue, and then they had my coach Carl there, and he's like the only one that can calm me down. So then he's like, Dan, Dan, you have to leave. And they were saying like, nah, Dana's, because I was saying, I said, mate, I'm still gonna be cutting after these next two fights. Like, what's the difference? At least I can go to the hospital with one of my buddies. But nah, he said the words come down from Dana. You need to get out of the venue. You need to get. You need to
What?
get. You need to get to the hospital ASAP, brother. So yeah, they made me. They chucked me. They chucked me. They chucked me on a ride and sent me. I missed Kai and Izzy's fight.
Oh, dude. And Kai, incredible win. And man, Izzy, he looked
Yeah.
really good as well. Unfortunately, it didn't go his way, but he looked really good in that octagon. So I was watching, of course, the pub talk. I got a chance to watch you guys record it a little bit before I had to fly out to Melbourne. And then I watched the recording, and I know you guys ran into Hunter Campbell later on in the night in the lobby, and Charles Oliveira was brought up to you. Now that you're sort of coming down from a massive fight and a big celebration. How does Charles Oliveira actually sound to you next, man? Is he someone that actually interests you?
I actually don't care, mate. I actually couldn't care less about like I just know whatever comes next is going to be a big fight. Something cool, There's some cool fights out there. Any of the boys in that in the top 5 ahead of me are really cool fights. You know, I'll be over the moon with any of those fights.
Yeah, I mean, I know that.
If someone yelled out, even someone told me that they're like, "Oh, you didn't say a rematch with Poirier." I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna stand there yelling out every guy in the." I was like, "I swear, I feel like I listed enough people." I was like, but yeah, like any of those fights are massive fights, and that's the beauty of being in the top 5.
Did you see on the internet? Obviously, Max Holloway has this fight with Ilya Tapura, but a bunch of people are actually calling for a BMF title fight between you and Max potentially as the next fight. Have you seen that sort of circulating online?
Yeah, I think from what I've seen, like Max is pretty hell bent on getting his world title back. So, but like, man, the BMF is something that the fans love, and they've always like thrown my name in the hat for it. And we'll have to see how it all plays out, bro. It's like, well, Ilya, you know, knock wood, but like Ilya breaks his leg tomorrow, well, then that fight becomes like a real possibility. You know what I mean? But it's the same on the same hand. Arman breaks his leg tomorrow, then who's gonna fight Islam for the world title? So it's like I just know whatever happens next, I need to get in the gym and get my ass ready for it.
Yeah, speaking of Arman, man, I know there's a bit of dislike there for Arman. I don't know when Islam will be back. They're saying December, but there could be a delay because he's got that hand injury, and those things are complicated. Um, how tempting would this interim title fight with Arman be to you? Because not only are you going for the belt here, but a little rivalry here with the man that you know a little well in Arman.
I'm pretty sure that's what I like, because I was standing there, I was talking to Hunter, and then like my manager Ash was there as well, and I was like, he's like, "Who do you want next?" I was like, "I want to smash Arman's face," and then Ash is going, "Look, no, we want Charles, blah blah blah." And I was going, "I'll smash Arman for free," and he's like, "Go away, Dan." Ash is like, this is why you no longer manage yourself anymore, Dan." He's like, "Just leave." Because yeah, my name. If it was, if we would have done the deal then and there, I'd be fighting Arman for free. By the end of the year.
Yeah, just for people who don't realize, what is it about that Arman fight that just is so tempting to you that you almost signed off on a free fight with Hunter in the lobby early in the morning in Perth to do it for free?
Oh, like nah, like he's talked a bunch of shit in the past. I just think he's a wiener. But like besides that, he is the. I feel like he is the toughest. He's like the toughest next fight to get a title shot, or like he's like a Gamrot. He's like another guy that people think that I can't beat. You know what I mean? So if I had to pick any road to the title, I'd pick the hardest way possible. You know, like if you're to get a title shot off like Gagey or Oliveira or whatever, like people would just say, "Oh, well, you know, he only had one win." Um, so you to get it, like, yeah, I just like doing things the hard way, mate. It's not.
Hey, just on Charlie Olives, right? Because I think we've got to bring this nickname back out for Charles Oliveira. Just just on that fight, man. Like, obviously, he's an incredible fighter that likes to dye his hair blonde and go Super Saiyan as well. I know you've got a ton of respect for the guy, but how do you, when you think of that matchup? I mean, it sounds like an incredible fight, but how does it sort of go in your mind when you have those early thoughts about how you and Charles go? Because you've been thinking about Charles for a while. Like, this isn't the first time we've spoken about him. I think a few times you wanted Charles, even that unofficial call out on Sky Sports recently.
Yeah, yeah, nah, like, well, in that moment, then and there, it was pretty much the only guy I hadn't called out. So I announced the Charlie Olives fight. That's just a firefight, you know what I mean? I can see why people want to see it. I struggle to see that fight getting out of a round, and I can see why um people get so excited for that fight. Like, yeah, no bullshit, no pulled up. The boys are just gonna get in there and and getting a bit of a firefight, I think.
Yeah, man. By the way, just going back to the wrestling defense that you showed in the Gamrot fight, dude, it was cool to see you actually get a chance to have a camp to practice some of your wrestling. I know that. Look, and that's the thing, man. Like when people think back to that Islam fight, you literally had no opportunity to get your wrestling in. Do you think like people seeing that really kind of understand or will get a little taste of what that rematch with Islam could potentially look like? You going out there and showing them, hey, this is actually what I look like if I get a chance to train going into a fight.
Oh, mate, the only reason I'm here is I don't give a shit about what people think. Um, if you listen to people, I would have been retired a very long time ago. Um, yeah, like it's part and parcel. Like, yeah, just being an active fighter during COVID, like an active international fighter during COVID. Um, that's just what it was. Like I was, like I'm pretty honest. I'm pretty honest with myself, and like I knew the kind of training camps that I was putting in during that time and the impact that it was obviously having on my performance. So I knew that coming out of that and getting the ability to train with my team and my coaches and stuff like that, the results would go back to where they were before COVID. But I feel like through that hardship, it gave me a deeper appreciation for my coaches and a deeper appreciation for my team. So I can't even say I regret any of those decisions during COVID to take any of those fights.
Yeah, man. Number fifth ranked, incredible fight. I loved how you, when you were talking to Oscar, you mentioned how there's a part of you that would be kind of would laugh at the fact if you could snake away that Conor McGregor fight from Michael Chandler. This is the funny thing, right? When I think of Hooker versus McGregor, like Michael Chandler is a great fighter, but I think this fight with him and Conor, it's been taking so long to get made, and so much has changed. I mean, Hooker McGregor just really has a lot of ring to it now, especially after UFC Perth. How funny would it be if that actually happened? You were able to sneak in there and get this fight off Michael.
Has he said anything about it?
Nah, he hasn't said anything about it yet. So I don't know
That
what that
must
even
that
means.
must that must mean he's actually interested in it, my friend. that must that must mean it's something that he might actually be taking seriously.
Yeah, man. Well, it would be really, really cool to see that happen, man.
Because
Like you
if
said,
he would have responded at the time, then it's like yeah, like he's like a lot of guys just do stuff to get their name like back in the mix, but it's not even like he jumped on it. For that, so I feel like I feel like it's a smart option. You know what I mean? You're gonna fight a guy in the top five on a 3 fight win streak, or are you gonna fight a guy who's not in the top five and coming off a loss? I just feel like because I've been staying active and I've been fighting the best guys in the world, that he has more to gain. It just is what it is. He has more to gain from fighting me than he does from Chandler.
dude, it's such an exciting option, and I think like he'd definitely be looking at you as like, man, this could be a really like I think for him it would be super exciting to get a chance to fight you too. I
It's
know
like
he has
it is
nothing
what
but
it is.
respect
Like
for you.
my next fight is gonna be a title eliminator. That's what my next fight is gonna be. So if he genuinely wants to get back in the mix and genuinely wants to earn his way back to a world title, it makes a lot of sense.
That's right, Danny. You know what else makes a lot of sense? Going to Manscaped right now using the code word submission, getting 20% off and free shipping. Now it's Father's Day right around the corner. Manscaped has the best products for Father's Day. I'm talking about the lawnmower. I'm talking about the bead hadger. I'm talking about the handyman. I'm talking about the weed whacker. They've got it all at Manscaped. So if you want to give your father a special Father's Day, go to Manscaped right now. Use the code word submission, 20% off and free shipping now. The great products are endless at Manscaped. Jump on and do it today. Dan, I know your missus is expecting your second child. It's an exciting time, but I'm guessing like February would probably be a bit too soon for the return. Maybe December. Is there a timeline that works for you?
Oh mate, my wife likes me better in the gym than out of the gym. So I think baby, no baby. She wants me focused on training.
Awesome, dude. But December, Feb sound like possibilities, or
They all
you
sound
thinking
good.
even sooner?
They all sound good to me, brother. Tomorrow.
All right, guys. Well, in the meantime, make sure to check out Dan's new T-shirt with Engage. Of course, it's an absolute classic. Another great Dan Hooker phrase: "You can't teach ticker, baby." Those will go quickly. And of course, man, I'm so happy as well. Injury free coming out of this one. So back into the gym tomorrow. And
They said I broke my nose, but I was like, I think it's even clearer. So whatever it broke, put it back in the line. I was like, it doesn't feel any different to what it did. So I think it was already broken.
Well, man, I can't wait to see what happens next. Go enjoy New Zealand. Have a great day. And guys, make sure to jump on Engage and check out Dan's new T-shirt, Can't Teach Ticker, baby. This thing is going to sell out quick. And again, I can't wait to see who you draw next, Dan. Thanks so much for your time, brother.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.